So very recently I saw a Reddit post pitching the idea of Starkiller to face Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series, and everything just came to me so quickly. I suddenly thought of a story of how Starkiller could fit into the Ahsoka series, so I've decided that I want to share that with you today because I really do think that some of you will very much enjoy it. And it's not just one story, it's multiple, so there is at least one very realistic scenario for this to happen, so let's get on with it. Here's a little trailer or teaser for this video that I made.
Inside my DNA, I got royalty inside my DNA. I got color peace, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA.
Pretty good, right? That just does want to make you see Ahsoka fight Starkiller. So, for starters, I want to ensure that you all do realise that Starkiller being in the Ahsoka series is simply a rumour. Well, not even a rumour, it's literally just something a fan has come up with and thought would be cool, and I've decided to pitch an idea of how it could work. However, what a rumour would be is the inclusion of a character such as Barriss Offee in the Ahsoka series. That's not confirmed, but that is genuinely a rumour coming from reports. And then contrastingly to this, a confirmed character or characters to be in Ahsoka basically now would be Ezra and Thrawn. So yeah, I just want to establish the difference between all of these characters being in Ahsoka. So the whole idea of this being so cool is the fact that it is the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker facing off against the apprentice of Darth Vader. Now obviously Darth Vader and Anakin are the same person, but it's just his literal dark side prodigy versus his light side prodigy, which just sounds incredible. Now for this to happen, the Force Unleashed games do not have to become canon, nor do I think they should, because they contrast with the current canon, especially the second one, as there's just a bunch of Force sensitive clones which we know can't happen in canon. However, my story pitch is based off of the game, so there will be parts taken from it and built around the current canon so it would fit very well, and I'm just excited to share it, so let's get on with it. So following The Empire Strikes Back, Vader realizes that he may not be able to turn Luke to the dark side, as he literally did nearly kill himself trying to escape Vader, who he just found out is his father, which in Vader's eyes would be more of a reason to join him rather than what appeared to be less of one in Luke's eyes. This is something that is very important to Vader. He knows that him alone isn't enough to defeat Palpatine, and as the rule of two states, the apprentice must defeat the master and then get a new apprentice. So this is why Vader felt like he wanted to recruit Luke, and this is how Starkiller comes into this. Also, by the way, the order of the apprentice overthrowing the master and getting a new one does sometimes happen a bit skewed. Obviously Maul was alive whilst Plagueis was alive, and Palpatine's intentions were to make Maul his full-on apprentice, and also Asajj Ventress was alive at the same time as Palpatine, and Dooku's intentions were to overthrow Palpatine with Ventress, which he obviously tried to do initially with Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan was having none of it. Anyway, the fact that Luke isn't available to be his apprentice, as he is seemingly not going to turn to the dark side, makes Vader turn to someone else. Before the events of A New Hope, the Inquisitors were destroyed basically. Some were just killed in battle and never replaced, and others were thought to have just been wiped out, likely by maybe Vader himself, but it's not known. But there was one Inquisitor that sensed this, an Inquisitor so powerful that they were the reason Palpatine ordered them to be wiped out and discontinued, as he didn't see the point in someone so much of a threat to be necessary, especially when the Inquisitors have already done such a huge job in wiping out the Jedi that there were really hardly any left. But like I said, this Inquisitor sensed this coming and they fled. Knowing that they are no match for Vader and or Palpatine, they changed their allegiance from the Empire to simply themselves and themselves only.
I give my allegiance to no one.
And they were never found again until now. Vader had a particular liking to this Inquisitor above others, so before they fled, Vader had known some personal details about this Inquisitor. This, combined with a little bit of trial and error from Darth Vader, he eventually managed to track down this Inquisitor. And long story short, this is Starkiller, and Vader, having had a prior, more personal relationship to this Inquisitor than the others, Starkiller trusted Vader at least somewhat and decided to join him as his apprentice. To overthrow Palpatine, of course. Starkiller would agree to this as he's already immersed in the dark side and his lust for power got the better of him, and he knows if he was a full Sith apprentice, he would become a lot more powerful under Vader's wing, and he would also know that Vader is relatively vulnerable to someone that has the potential of himself. Starkiller managed to get back to the power level he was at when he was an Inquisitor very quickly, and he even surpassed it with Vader's training. All was going well into the Battle of Endor, and we know what happened there, but had the Battle of Endor not happened, their future attempt to overthrow Palpatine would have been successful. Unless, of course, Palpatine sensed it coming, and this could be more of a reason why he decided to set up like his stuff on Exegol to prepare himself for death. But anyway, that doesn't matter because obviously the Battle of Endor did happen, and Vader and Palpatine both perished in that. Well, Palpatine, not really for so long, but Vader definitely did die. Starkiller, having been an Inquisitor in the past and all of the Inquisitors' deaths being put down to died in battle, the Imperial remnants recognized him as like one of their higher up members now. He trained himself a little bit more, grew more powerful, and this brings us to the Ahsoka series, which is based after Return of the Jedi. Now, I'm not going to sit here and write a whole plot for Ahsoka, but what we know is Ahsoka is going to look for Ezra and Thrawn. Thrawn was an Imperial, Starkiller is also an Imperial now, so it all fits in together quite nicely. Now, Starkiller being so powerful and Thrawn being so smart, you may beg the question as to whether Ahsoka is powerful enough to defeat them. Well, here I have a few options for you. Number 1, she doesn't beat them and she dies as many suspect her to die in her own series. Number 2, the combined power of her, someone who is near to equal to Vader in a fight in Rebels, with the power of Ezra that has significantly progressed since season 4 of Rebels, together can take down Starkiller. 3, Barriss Offee turns up like she has been rumoured to, and does the right thing and helps Ahsoka to defeat Starkiller. Then of course there is the chance that we see Darkside Ezra, and he teams up with Starkiller to defeat Ahsoka. And maybe then the most powerful Jedi ever has to come along and save the day. Now you know who I'm talking about there, Luke Skywalker. Then if we go along the lines of Darkside Ezra, alternatively, he could be so conflicted and mid-fight he turns on Starkiller and saves Ahsoka. And then of course there is the option number 6, where one of these is combined with another one of these, maybe Ezra and Barriss turn up. And I think which one of these depends on how powerful they want to make Starkiller and how powerful they want to make Ahsoka, because I do hope that they make Ahsoka very powerful, because in Rebels she was, like I said, nearly equal to Vader, so you would expect her to be more powerful than that by now, so potentially more powerful than Vader, obviously lacking some dark side abilities which are very useful in battle, but still. And then, like I said, it depends on how powerful they want to make Starkiller. I think the most beneficial way to do it would be to make Starkiller more powerful than Ahsoka, because the other people that are potentially going to show up in Ahsoka, being Barriss and Ezra, are likely to be on Ahsoka's side. Maybe even there's a 7th option and Barriss teams up with Starkiller, as the last time we saw Barriss, she was a bit evil, but like she was never a Sith, so I don't know if that one's going to happen, but it would be incredible to see Ahsoka versus Starkiller and Ezra versus Barriss, and then maybe Ahsoka is shown to be very powerful and more powerful than Starkiller. However, Ezra is getting overrun by Barriss and Ahsoka has to help out in that fight, meaning that I know Ahsoka has to actually struggle quite a lot in this fight. But yeah, so let me know which of those you actually enjoy the most, and I guess that's going to be all for this video. That is 7 ways that Starkiller could fit into the Ahsoka series with a full backstory for him, which I'm actually really happy with. I do enjoy his backstory that I've just given him, and I'm personally not sure of what my favourite scenario that I've made up at the end there is. I'll probably comment it below if I remember and if I think about it up until this video goes out, as it is currently Thursday and I plan to release this on Saturday, so I've got a lot of thinking time, but I've also got a lot of time to forget to comment on the video. So yeah, let me know if you enjoyed the backstory, and let me know, like I said, which one of the outcomes you think is the best. I think it's quite similar to Ventress in the Clone Wars, as she was becoming so strong that Palpatine was scared and ordered Dooku to kill her, which I think is really cool. And obviously we know Star Wars like repeats itself so often, it's like poetry, it rhymes. And also, like, let me know how you felt about Starkiller potentially being in Ahsoka before you watched this video, and if it's changed your mind, because I would absolutely love it if you didn't want Starkiller to be in Ahsoka, and now watching this you do. That would like make me feel really quite good about like the stories that I've just come up with there. So I guess that's all. Thank you for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed, because I've really enjoyed making this one. I don't know how the edit's going to turn out, because obviously I haven't done it yet, but in the making of this video it's been one of my favourites ever, so please do leave a like. And yeah, thank you for 8,200 subscribers. Please do subscribe if you have enjoyed, and if you want to see more, with that notification bell on as well. And yeah, in a bit.